Good morning, afternoon, and night, people around the world, Web 2 and Web 3. Welcome to the Nico Morning Show, Season 5, Episode 5. We are your hosts, Sus and Nono, and today we have a very special guest, Cade. Good morning to you, man. I know it's early morning. Thank you for showing up at this time. And Nono, good morning, man. How are you?
Good morning, Seuss. I'm doing great, man. Excited to be here. Excited to have a guest who's also a friend, but a guest who's as knowledgeable as he is on the subject of content creation. It's going to be a nice kind of refresher. We've been talking very heavy technical stuff in the past week or so, and now we're going to talk very different technical stuff, completely different. So, yeah. Kate, super excited to have you on, man. Thanks for carving out time for us. Thanks for giving up sleep. Guys, it is midnight at Kate's time. It is not 8 a.m. in London. So, Kate, thank you for being here.
Bro, thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be on the show. I've tuned in obviously a million times on TikTok when you guys are in the middle of a show, and I'm like, yo, pop in, throw a lightning bolt or a rose or something. And also, literally, maybe 10 days ago, this would have been normal behavior from me. Just being up, like hopping on the stream would have been no problem. I literally just was able to kind of get myself back on track. I went through like a little period of not being able to like literally get anything done. And I'm back in the game, and I can attribute that, a lot of it, to having like a reason to make a video. And so I can thank you guys at Nico for that, because I got interested, hit up Noah, and I was like, bro, what's the alpha? Like, talk to me about Nico. Talk to me about the Near protocol, and you did.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for diving in headlong, and it's fun watching other people kind of experience it. And yeah, burnout will be one of the things we talk about, and how you clear those hurdles. So we have a whole bunch of content creators watching this, and we want to just kind of know, generally speaking, what are like a good 3 to 5 rules of content creation? How do you make yourself immutable, uncensorable? How do you diversify platform-wise? What do you prioritize? Stuff like that. Go.
This is great timing for this conversation in general. It's been a while since I went on someone else's podcast too. One thing I'll say.
Yes, sir.
The signature glass, yeah.
This thing may seem silly to many people, but it is not. There's a strategy behind these glasses, and the thesis was put to the test. I won't wear it for the whole. Maybe I should keep it on. What do you think? Though? Should I do glasses on or off for that?
Pictures, man. Your choice.
All right, we'll keep it on for a little bit. We'll let the people decide.
I like the glasses. You know, for people who doesn't understand content creation much, they will be like, "What the guy is this wearing?" But man, this is like a very, very, very smart idea. To be honest, you know, it's like your signature thing, right? So, help identify you from other content creation. So I like it, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can say one thing for sure. If you don't have some kind of calling card that separates you, you need to have one. Some people don't need something as silly as these glasses. I just chose this because I was doing a Halloween bit, and I wore them a couple extra times for just literally a Halloween bit during the 2021 bull run, and they just worked, and people liked them. And someone had messaged me, and they're like, "Yo, I remember like I was seeing a video, but I recognized the glasses," and then that ended up being a business opportunity for me. And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then my very first podcast, and just for I'll just do a quick little like 20-second elevator pitch of what I've done or what I've been doing in the Web3 space. So basically, like summer of 2021, got into the Web3 NFT market heavy. Noticed a gap in the market for content creation, and was like, okay, cool. There's no one doing reviews. There's no one doing podcasts. There's no one doing any kind of like non-degenerate content. Maybe I can slip into that role. Maybe there's an appetite for it. And there was. And so not a huge appetite, but enough for business opportunities. And basically able to get like sponsored videos kind of thing where I would review these companies, honest reviews. And I was able to kind of maintain that. And so I kind of came in with that angle, wore these glasses, people love them. And then my very first episode on the podcast with this guy named Greg Norman, he was the CEO of Bungie Project and super established businessman, super, I was very nervous to have him on the podcast, and I was extra nervous to have the glasses on for it because I was like, this guy's not going to take me seriously. He's a multi-millionaire, established businessman. This is so stupid. And I showed up, and I didn't have the glasses. I walked in like this. first thing he said was like, "Where the f are your glasses, bro?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're kidding me!" And so I was super hyped, and so I wore them. So, anyways, the reason I say that is because it's cool to have a calling card. NFT Nate, another big time Web3 YouTuber guy, he has his own thing. He has the red bandana that he started wearing, the red and the blue bandana, and he's been wearing that pretty consistently. And I don't know, I have no idea how the effect's doing. I assume it's good because he's still wearing it, and it's been months, and he's a savage content creator. But for sure, having something to set you apart is really, really helpful. And then I forget what the original question was, Noah. I think it was something in regards to like, what are the no-nos? Or I guess.
Oh yeah, no. How do you make yourself uncensorable? How do you make yourself relevant? I mean, there's going to be some answer basically created on multiple platforms, but I mean, if you look at Cade's stuff, he's got more than 9,000 on Twitter. He's got more X. He's got more than 12,000 on YouTube. He's got more than 10,000. I think he's got 14,000 on TikTok. And the cool thing is, that's just the Web3 Cade. Like, he went and like through kind of a journey of faith, like not so long ago, and he made a whole different like social page on like TikTok and on Instagram that just like obscenely blew up. So I mean, he's not done it once; he's done it multiple times.
That has been a crazy journey, and thanks for bringing back on track.
Absolutely,
different platforms for sure are very different. They can bleed a little bit, but I will say this: like, I've been making content since I was like 11, and not just like stupid, like someone pick up like a family video camera, but I was like dialed in, like videos, editing, styling, thumbnails, like titles. Like I did like the actual thing when I was like 11 years old on YouTube. You can go back, type my name in on YouTube and find soccer videos. They're still up. I left them up on my old channel too, and they're super old. And I was just following free kickers. There was this YouTube channel that I was copying basically. And dude, it took like 10 years for my YouTube channel to hit 1,000 subscribers. And then it took 1 year to go from 1,000 to 10,000, I think, or something like that. And then the market like crashed instantly in like a matter of weeks or months or something like that. And then it's been slow grind up since then. So the markets are different. But what I'll say is like throughout all that time, only the last like 3 years have I really, really dialed in, like really tried to make this work. And only the last 2.5 years have I been able to do full-time content. And dude, I'm only really starting to get over that hump of like, oh, I kind of get it now. And that's now where Gary Vee's words kind of echo, where he's like, you have to give yourself the runway to figure it out. And some people will get all the way to this point and then go, man, I don't even like this. And then you're faced with another kind of decision of like, do I push forward with this? Like, it's like, you've been in 8 years of medical school, but you don't like being a doctor, and you're like, crap. Now what? Do I just like give up the rest of my life being a doctor even though I like it, or do I just like, did I learn anything? Is there anything I can take from this?
I can relate to that. Yeah, I can relate. I studied pilot actually. I put so much sacrifices to study pilot, and at the end, I just went for something I like, which is Web3 and content creation. In fact, just a brief touch. I haven't actually been in content creator. I did stream before when I'm playing games, and I did have a good success with it, especially in Facebook. But I just didn't like it much, to be honest. I'm noisy. I swear a lot. I have no filter, and I wasn't comfortable always in front of the camera. But stepping away from this a bit, I'm gonna ask you this question: what do you think makes a great and a success content creator within the Web3 space?
Yeah, specifically in Web3.
Tenacity.
Yeah, it's a good question.
And the ability to learn new things and look at yourself critically. But
yes, that's pretty much huge. Yeah, a lot of it's going to bleed across the industries in Web3. I would say networking is pretty big. Like if you can start a podcast, that's generally a good idea. I would say that's what I started with, and that's pretty much what everyone's doing right now. It's the move, dude. I made some wild connections, and it kind of forces you to be slightly extroverted, and you'll shoot a DM that maybe you wouldn't normally, or you wouldn't have an excuse to send them a DM for, so you can have the show, even if it's like a nothing thing. You got like three episodes, have like 14 subscribers or something. You'd be surprised who would say yes. Like when I had Crypto Wendy on, I always reference this one because she's the biggest female YouTuber in the game, and people will always will hit me up and be like, how did you get her on the show? I'm like, bro, I literally just DM'd her on a Tuesday and said, will you come on the show? And she just happened to be on her phone and was like, sure. And then that turned into a friendship, and that's just so random. And I've had multiple things like that. And I'm still am and was at that time for sure, basically nobody in the space relative to people like Ben Armstrong and Crypto Wendy and stuff like that. And you'd be surprised, and you can get a bit of a you can get into these connections. I'm in like random Telegram groups and stuff like that I just don't even know how I'm in, just from reaching out. So I say podcasting, and then for sure, you need to find something in the market that is relatively untapped, and have a certain kind of voice. I made a video today talking about like you have to be unique, and everyone is unique, but you need to display that uniqueness, because if you're not willing to say what you really want to say, then you're gonna get replaced by someone who is willing to say it. And it's like that thing when you're in school and someone raises their hand and you have this answer in your head, but you don't want to say it because it sounds stupid, like the answer might not be right. And then someone raises their hand, they say like the answer is 4, and they're like correct, and you're like, oh my god, bro, I knew the answer was 4. Why didn't I say anything? And they get all this credit now. Or the friend who says the joke right after you said it really quietly under your breath, they take your joke and they say it, and everyone laughs, and you're like, no. So it's like if you're willing to say it, people respect that. So I'd say that aspect of it, and then make sure you do your research, because there's too many people just screaming from the hilltops anything they can to just get a clip, and that's fine and stuff, and maybe you get some followers and stuff, but for me, I've always prioritized who's watching my content, and would the people I want to work with and be friends with, and the people I want to get respect from, would they watch my content and be like, I don't want to talk to this idiot? Like if that's what you think when you watch your own videos, you're like, oh, this is some like 12-year-old kid stuff. If that's your goal, that's fine. But if your goal is to connect with some of these cooler people and these higher people, CEOs, businessmen, and you want to get connections and be a content creator for this project or whatever, you have to be keeping in mind who's the target audience, who am I talking to, what do they want to hear, anything I can do, can I make this video and tag Neko, and maybe they can get their attention, get the retweet, get the people from the Neko and the near ecosystem to see the video. You never know what can happen from that. I've had so many random things come from just tagging people on Twitter, posting the video. If you can, try and learn about things like lighting, like having this light right here, like Noah's getting it's got a solid setup, Sue's got an amazing setup, like that stuff helps tremendously.
I remember when I was building my setup, I had to sit for 2 weeks learning how to figure out my lighting. The lighting is very tricky, guys. Content for if you are jumping in the front of a light, it's very tricky because it have a 45 angle. You need to have the triangle thing under the eye. You need to have. I had to learn like different type of light setup. So I can relate to this, man. Lighting is very tricky. Until now, I'm not satisfied with my lighting. I really think I need to have a darker background for some reason, but anyway,
we can give them a 20 second little breakdown here for guys who don't know anything about lighting or cameras. If you just look at all three of us right now, you will notice that there's a bit of separation between me, myself, and everyone in the show right now, and in the background there's a little bit of space. I think there's maybe a little bit more space in Seuss's than me and Noah's both.
Way more than mine.
But if you have a lot more depth, the depth automatically will get blurred. Right now I have a nice camera, but there is a bit of separation. You want separation, and if you can have a backlight right behind you shining on your back, it just illuminates your figure basically. And then all you need for lighting, guys, you need the big light in front of you, just some kind of light that can just shine right on your face. And then you need, in my opinion, you need a couple different lights, like a yellow light over there and a blue light over here. It just gives some separation, and it adds so much. And then turn off, like if you have a bunch of like random lights, just turn those off. Just have your main lights on, and it looks tremendous. And that's like 90% of what you need to know about lighting.
Yeah, I mean, prime example is if I plug my lighting right now. There you go, guys. You can tell the difference. So separating the light, I have also light here. You can tell the big difference. You see, so it actually give a lot of difference, with the lights and without the lights, and that is very important. And oh man, there is a lot of things to talk about the light. But Kate, thank you for summarizing it. That's basically what you need to know at the start.
Yes. Speaking of equipment and lighting and microphones, go to Cade's TikTok. He has like a famous video about like a $1,200 mic versus like a normal mic, and like how you don't need a $1,200 mic and how this one's just fine. So the barrier to content creation is there is none. Anyone can do it, but it separates people that really want to do it, and the people that are tenacious, the ones that can look at themselves, they can say like, hey, I obviously haven't learned this and this. I keep making these same mistakes. I'm going to finally learn and switch them, sort of thing. And also like know when to press the attack. But there's tons of hacks on Cade's stuff because, like I said, he content creates for his vitality. Like that's what he does. That's one of his biggest things. So definitely go through his stuff. There's some really good gems on his channel, all that kind of stuff, all his reviews and stuff. So okay, let's talk about burnout. Let's talk about burnout with Web3 content creation. Let's talk about burnout with content creation in general. Let's talk about the importance of batch creation. I think that's as many things I want to throw at you right now. So batches, burnout, and specifically Web3 burnout, and why you got burnt out from Web3 stuff.
Oh, this is cool for me because I've never really thought about it. So you just asked that question specifically, but I don't think I've ever burned out from content. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. My brain operates on that plane. Like, it's like Messi, or not Messi. It's like Elon Musk. There was a question that Lex Fridman asked him. He was like, "Where do you get this motivation to continue like doing this and stay up late and this?" And Elon just sat there for like a minute. He was like, "I don't really think about it like that. I just do things. It just needs to be done. I don't know. That's just." And he just stopped talking. And Lex just looked at him, and they were like, "So with content for me, it's always how it's been. Like, I have to intentionally not do content. It's that bad for me. Like, it was a problem, I think, because before I got into Web3, right before I got into Web3, I was living in a car, traveling around the country, doing like vlog style content, travel content, and things like that. And I really started to hate it because I couldn't help but want to vlog, but I didn't like vlogging, that specific style of content. But I wanted to do video. I just didn't know exactly how. And that's when I stumbled on NFTs. And I was like, oh, great. I can make videos in my room just with a mic and a camera. Perfect. I don't have to run around and climb a mountain for a video. I can just do the research and make the video. And for me, I've never had content creator burnout. In that case, like, if you're having true burnout from content, probably just step away for a little bit and see what happens. If you really like it, you'll just gravitate back toward it. It's not really that big of a deal. But if you're Web3 burnout, I feel you there, because I went, blockchain boy Lucas just posted this on Twitter, and he was like, yeah, man, like I went through a period like a year ago, I think, where I realized most NFTs and crypto are just stupid, just complete stupidity. He was just like, I got depressed. He was like, I joined because the innovation, like the innovative aspect of Web3, which is the same reason I joined, because I'm a content creator. I'm not starting projects like this. I'm not starting coins and things. Like, I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm just the content creator. I like doing the videos, and I like the industry of Web3 and the energy and the buzz. And when I found out most of them were just Ponzi's, and I didn't have any interest in doing anything cool. They were just literally trying to take the money and leave. I was like, damn, like, I don't really have much in common with these people now that I think about it. And then, I had this whole coming in Jesus moment. My whole life like flip-flopped upside down. And I was like, man, now I really don't want to vibe with some of these people. And so I had to pretty much step away. And I did like the bare minimum just to get by during that time. But what I did was, this might be helpful. What I did was I focused on the content creators that did not make me hate the industry. So I tuned in to Noah. I liked Noah's content, so I kept watching his stuff if it popped up. I tuned in for a few minutes in the show each time I saw it. Easy Eats, stayed up with his stuff. I just tuned into people I like that have good vibes and I know are there because they want to be there, not just to grift. Of course, they want to make money, but they're not there to grift you. And so I would say, like, kind of light on the part that keeps you there and the people that you want to be around. Yeah. And then just have your mind going. Just have your mind going about different kinds of content you're going. If you pray to God, then pray to God that you get new ideas. Pray to God that He gives you a little bit of creativity, and be like, dude, I want to be here, and I would love like some help or something. So like, I'm gonna be manifesting in my head a little bit. If you got something up there, send me it down as well. That'd be great. And then just have faith that it'll happen if it's gonna happen, and if not, and you start going a different direction, maybe that's where you're going. But I truly believe, like, if you're a businessman, you will end up doing business. If you're a content creator, you will end up doing content creator. If you are a swimmer, you will end up back in the pool. You'll be swimming.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, no, relating to burnout actually, and I think already know this. I honestly don't know how people don't get burnout. For me, I got burnout from creating content. I stepped away from creating content for like 3 months. I think, is it 3-4 months? Because I was literally burnt out, and it's always for me a struggle. I'm kind of like perfectionist. I like things to be perfect, I don't want to just upload a video, sit in front of the camera, upload it. No, I want the lighting to be right. I want the element to be right. Everything is perfect for me to upload it. That's how I like it. And I always struggle to like, put half of the work out. But I never focus on my personal brand, to be honest. I like doing amplifying in Neko. Ever since I started my content creation journey, it was always to amplify Neko, and all my content creation was to amplify Nico. And you can debate that okay, you have some mistake here because you need to have the right balance, you know, personal brand and your job at the same time. You have to like balance it out. But it ended up me being creating content because it was work related, because I have to, and that pressure on me all the time to make it perfect, and in the standard of PR standard, let's say, you know, professional standard, because it's for a company now, it's not my personal thing, right? Created a lot of pressure on me, that I literally burned out, and I stayed away from content 3 or 4 months. I have not created even one single video, but I came back to it, I think the last week, the last 2 weeks, and man, I felt amazing. It felt good to make content again. I was literally happy, and I was like spamming spamming Nono in the DM. And if you don't know, Nono, every time he wake up, he'll find like 20 message from me, and he have to like, he generally skip some of the messages. And he was like, I'll tell him, look man, I found a new way, and I'm even trying to be more creative with it, you know. But I generally think if you are doing content for work and you have to follow a specific guideline and a specific standards, it kind of put on you pressure that you don't want to do it anymore. Where if you are doing it for fun because you like it, you know, it become how do you say that, kind of fun to do, you know. Because for me, if I want to jump on my own channel now, I can say whatever I want. My channel get banned, my channel doesn't get banned, whatever it is, I don't care, it's my channel, right? But when you're doing it for a company, then you have to think of everything. You can't say the wrong word, you can't say anything wrong, you can't attack certain people or something like this. So you have to be very neutral, and I found that a very, very like heavy pressure on this
one. A little bit like one is like work, like it actually just is work.
Yeah.
And then I found like every time I feel that, because I definitely understand what you're saying. There's been a bunch of times where I was making a lot more paid videos than unpaid, and I was really feeling my soul just not. My soul was not in a good place. And all I had to do to get back on track was to make a video I wanted to make. The second that started going, and I was editing a video I wanted to do, I was like, oh, this is great. So I agree with you, bro. I feel you 100%. I was gonna say, in regards to batch content, it's not, there's not too much I can say. I guess with batch content, like this is an example. Like I'm filming this separately on my cell phone, and so batch content is where you just run through, you film one thing, and you just create a way to make 7 different videos instead of 1 or 0. Yeah. You know, some people will film a 5-minute segment, and then like for me, I'll film a video horizontal and I'll film it for Twitter. Then I'll also film it and I'll crop it so that's perfect for TikTok. And then I'll also think, oh man, like there's a little segment here I can cut out and clip that's 4 seconds and put music over it on top and put a caption on top instead. And then you can change the content up like that. And then I can even use this video that I'm using for this channel and upload it to a different channel and just stick a different caption and different music and have something else for it. But if your brain is in batch mode, you're like, how many different ways can I like squeeze everything out of this bit of content? It takes out the work side of it, especially if you don't like filming that much and you would rather prefer just to do as little filming as possible. Then make that a possibility. Film as little as possible and figure out as many ways you can squeeze out different style of content. And you may have to spend some time scrolling, and you may hate scrolling, but that may be part of the thing. You may have to scroll a little bit and find different examples of videos. I have seen so many videos now that I just always have 1,000 options that could go off. And because I've seen them so many times over and over, it's just like instant. I just see a video, I'm like, oh, that could work like this. And I save the video and I don't even have to worry about it or write it down. Like a week later, I'll be like, oh, I'll go through my camera roll and like find videos that I saved. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. And I'll literally take the sound, I'll extract it, put it into CapCut, and I'll film the video real quick and I'll put it together. And I just remember, but it's because I just spent so many hours doing it. So you really do need to love it. You know, you do need to love it if you're going to be here in the game as a content creator. I know it's really sexy because you get to be on camera, you get all the attention and you get likes and stuff like that. You just won't survive because I like making content and I'm going to beat you if I like making it and you don't like it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Go. That's awesome.
I agree. Yeah, you know, content have been always a new for me, and shout out to Nono. To be honest, he always tried to like, especially when I was starting, he like give me some tips, but without hurting my feeling. You know, like, oh man, it sucks, but hey man, it's fine, man. You can, you know, you just minimize the cut and stuff like this. So yeah, definitely as well, mentorship and people to guide you through it. If you guys are starting in content creation, is very good, and you can look at the people you want to be. I don't think there is a problem to copy someone's style in some extent. until you figure out your own style. I mean, this is how you will figure it out, right? You will be like, oh, this guy is doing it in this way, I'm gonna try this, and then I'm gonna try it this way, I'm gonna try this way. Then eventually by yourself you'll just figure out, okay, I kind of like to do it in this way. That's my own style. You can get creative, and later on just merge a couple styles together, and boom, you get your own personality in there. So what I think the most difficult is, especially in podcast, is to maintain your own personality in real life and in front of the camera. And a lot of people, I think, try to separate their personality, by being a completely different person in front of the cam for the brand, and then being different person in real life. For me,
Right.
I actually don't care. And I always said, no, if people don't like my personality, so be it. But this is me. This is how I am. I like to be myself in front of the camera. I talk a lot. I'm noisy, and I swear a lot. That's how I am.
That's the way, bro.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's why people are getting
Yeah.
tired of the LA. They're tired of the influencer life because they're like, that ain't real. We want real.
Yeah.
Like, we've been in this Google land for Hollywood and celebrities. People are just tired. They're like, bro, I'd rather watch a insert any job influencer where they're just real, and they're like, bro, single mom of 4 making breakfast for my kids kind of thing. Like, those videos are blowing up right now. And that's just the way it is. People are just tired of that nonsense. They're like, this is a fake character, which is fine, but it's just not something people are consuming the same way.
Yeah, I got a question on that. Have you seen that one guy that just like has a dog and he like goes to work his normal job? And,
Hub's
like,
life.
gets to work out. Huh?
Hub's life.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I caught him so early, and I was like, this dude is going to
Normalized.
blow up. There's been multiple people this year where I was like, if the trend stays, then these guys will be so big in like 1 year. And dude, they all have crushed it. And like, Hub's life is like made for the game, bro. He gets it. He also did social media before, so he understands the game. And so when he started to hit, and people were like, bro, this is cool. And even me, like, I despised like the 9 to 5, get out, like, you need to escape the matrix was like my thing, the whole. And then
bro, this is
I like
pretty
saw
cool.
it, and I was like, you know what? I never really thought about it like this. Like, he actually is right in a lot of ways, and especially if you've been in the entrepreneur game for a while. I'm talking at least like a couple years. You start to understand when people are like, bro, I kind of miss the 9 to 5. Like, I kind of miss the paychecks. I miss like the little bit of stability. You know what I mean? And for me, like, I'm grateful that well, I guess it depends like how and when you ask this. On a Tuesday, I might not feel the same. But like, sometimes I'll look at Noah's life and I'll be like, God, bro, he's got a kid, he's got a wife. Like, bro, that's the move. And then other days I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Trust me, man, it's not easy. I have 2 kids. It's very expensive.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy. It's very
On the 9 to 5 thing, okay, that brings me to 2 things. One, fun story. This next year, I'm going full time at my Web 2 work, which means I have to spend at least 36 hours in the office, and I won't accrue any vacation time until the beginning of 2025. So that's fun. It's going to be a grind season kind of year.
Wow.
Previously, I was like, hey, I could bust tail at work for 3-4 weeks, and then I could be off all week. Because if I tell I'm a personal trainer. If I tell people I'm not coming in, I'm not coming in. Nobody's in charge of me and my schedule. That's about to change. It's going to be interesting.
Why is that about to change?
Because if they're going to offer benefits like, kid stuff, hospital stuff, like helping with all those things, there has to be a weekly amount of revenue I make for them, so they can help use that to pay 50-50 for benefits. So anyway, interesting stuff about the 9 to 5, but it's about to get really 9 to 5-y, because even for me, it's been like less than it could be. So it's about to really crank up to that, which I'm not looking forward to.
You'll be in my prayers.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. And then number 2, on combination of 9 to 5 and burnout, I remember talking with you a hot minute ago, but this is worth highlighting again. For a while, you got to work a cool job because you said, hey, I need 2 days not doing content. And that refreshed you. Remember being around other people, serving people, and being like, hey, this is good, non-content centered stuff. I can just be me and just like see the world from a different angle. How important do you think it is to diversify your daily actions instead of just being like a dog and doing the same thing every day?
Yeah, bro, that's probably a question I don't have a full answer for yet, because that's something I'm still kind of debating in my head a little bit. I've got me like an interesting transition, which I feel like I've been saying for the last 3 years every single day. I've been like a transitional period. It's just this like weird time where like one week is like so different, and one week is so bad, and then it's chaotic. But I recently I've gone through periods where I would journal a little bit and write my thoughts and try and organize my thoughts and stuff like that. But this time I paid for like a Jordan Peterson like full entire course thing where like each question is like a 2,000 to 5,000 word essay type of prompts that you have to write out. And I found like so much value in writing out because like for me, I can type so fast that I can type out 2,000 words in just a couple of minutes. So I'm just typing, like blurring out everything. And I'm just like, wow, I'm like coming to these random things I've actually never thought before. And typically when you're thinking things in your head, there's only so many thoughts you can have in your head at one time. So you end up just thinking about the same stuff over and over again. And it just feels like it's new each time, but it's not. But this time I'm like formulating thoughts and actually having a little bit of cohesive structure to it. But as far as like, getting different experiences, I think it's good to constantly be doing that. You should be surfing the waves a little bit. If you're doing the exact same thing over and over again, some people can do that. I just like, for me, I do need some type of change every little while. And that just might be because I'm 25 and that's just the way I'm hardwired. It might be because I've been spending too much time on TikTok and my attention deficit is like terrible. I feel like it's good. You probably should be like, I even thought for a time that I would find some type of normal job that has nothing to do with Web3 just a couple times a week, just to, a little bit of just for like consistent paycheck, but then also just to get out of the mindset. So I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important. I think it's tough when it gets in the way. Like, cause they'll be like, "Hey, Seuss, I'm not available from this time to this time," and I'll be like, "I'll get back to you at this time." And it's like it takes forever. So that's frustrating. I know it's frustrating for him too. It's frustrating for me to overpromise and under deliver there. But I think it's interesting for me. It's exercise science and Web3 are like kind of a fun thing. They're both delayed gratification. There's some similar things, but I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Speaking of being a traveling man, on the road, attention span, transitioning time. Cade, how many locations, not cities, how many locations have you lived in the last 3 years? 3 to 5? Different locations.
Yeah, like Charleston, Colorado, 2 different places in Colorado, 2 different places in Washington. Yeah, 3 to 5. I was living in my car for like a half a year, so like I guess that counts. Where I was just in and around every single area. It's so funny. There was a girl I ended up talking to like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and we met in like the Web3 space. But what's crazy is like she lived in the middle of nowhere in California, and I had actually DoorDashed there before, like in that exact area. Like I just happened to be driving through, I guess, on my way somewhere else. And I was like, wait, I remember I flew to like go see her. And I was like, bro, I recognize that McDonald's. Like, I swear to God, I recognize it. And then I was like, bro, I have DoorDash at that McDonald's before. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Man. That's fun. That's fun, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, talk about a change of pace, change of scenery. That'll keep you fresh.
I guess else? In some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. It's a little bit hard to get a little bit of structure, but it's one of those things where you like once you get some structure, you're craving the instability, and then you get the instability, and you're like, I just need some structure.
The rest of the way greener, right? The rest of the way greener. I do have what I was going to ask you next. Yes, content creation. Yes, I think I know that you're working on something that's related. Technically, this is a near podcast. What do you think about near domains? And then we'll go back to content creation. What do you think about near? I'm not saying I don't need you to say number go up or anything, but like I know we've talked a little bit about wallets and like domains and how it's maybe the new ENS yada yada. What are your thoughts on naming a bunch of wallets?
It's a move that you may, if you're not doing anything and you're just like, man, I just wish there was an opportunity I could sink my teeth into and just do something. You're like for me, that's typically like when I was in school, my biggest problem was math. Not because I was bad at it, I was actually fine. I just could not get the problem started. I couldn't figure out the first step. Like if my teacher just wrote step 1, I could solve the problem immediately. But like getting to step 1 was hard for me. And I noticed it was similar here. Like I'd be like, bro, I will do the work if I just knew what to do. And so like when I was like thinking about it, and I was like, bro, like what are some of like the meme coin plays? Like if I just knew the right ecosystems to attack, I would just start. I just don't know which ones to even start with. So that's why I was like, let me just start with Near, because I know Noah's over there and he knows all the stuff about it. I'll just try that out. And then it just happened to be that Elliot Trades in a video where he was talking about opportunities in Web3, just mentioned Near protocol. So at the very end of his video, just kind of briefly, and was like, yeah, like, I think this protocol could do pretty well. And I was like, oh, like an official YouTube video. And I was like, okay. And then it was the same video where he was like, you should try and pick up the meme coins on these protocols and these chains that just haven't pumped yet. And like Solana obviously had their pump, and dude, trends come and go. And by the time you realize it, you're like, oh, dude, I literally could have bought that 4 months ago. I just didn't even take it seriously. So this time I was like, okay, well, I have nothing else to do anyway. I'm just down. So I literally was like, bro, how do I do this? And then the opportunity is there, bro. Like ENSs did blow up. And Solana, there have been Solana ones, the .sol ones that did kind of blow up. And so in my head, I'm like, bro, there's a chance that .near things could take off. Yeah. The chance of you finding the one that's going to take off is relatively low. But because there's pretty much no one is doing it, bro, you could probably count on you can count probably on two hands the amount of people who've actually spent time and effort going like, what are the actual ones that could take off here?
Yep, that's correct.
So I've thought about it. I've downloaded I've minted at least 100 now, bro. Like I've been having so much fun. It feels like I'm collecting Pokemon cards. I've got some really, really good ones. I think throughout the bear market or throughout the bull market, I'm just gonna be tweeting out 10 at a time that I have and just seeing if there's any interest in them. But I think there's a pretty big opportunity there.
To hear those names, because right now they might not necessarily be worth late. It's not priced in,
right?
But once there's the traction, there's the ice. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
I think once we have the mass adoption on Near, because so far in terms of community, if you will compare it to other chain, Near is a bit low. But once you have this community coming over and you have a mass adoption, there will be a huge market for them. And speaking of Near taking off, yes, Near, I mean, if you look at the whole crypto market right now, everything is taking off, and Near it's taking off a bit compared to what it was before, but we are at 1x, 1.5x, 2x, something like this. So the previous all-time high Near hovered between the $15 to $20, right? And I think all-time high was $23 or $24. So for Near, I think we still are early. If people want to bags in, you're getting your Near at what's the Near price today? 2.3 something or 2.4. So there is a lot of room for it, to push with the market as well. And I think once we see Near actually picking up with the market and going farther, I think more of the community will start eyeing on Near. Okay, so what these guys are doing, and we are fairly basically new to anything. Neko is pretty, still not. I mean, we have a massive pump. We want to stay away from talking about the price in Neko, but still, I think we are very early, and that goes for a lot of the project here. We have Gear just start picking up now. Refinance, the main exchange for Near as well, is not didn't pick up yet the token. So there is a lot of project on Near still didn't pick up, and once we have that mass adoption to it, or the market picking up with Near, I think all of this is gonna move up as well with everything.
It's worth even doubling down. I don't have I obviously hold Neko and some Near, but it's not like a whale or anything that's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying
the one beside you is the biggest whale on Near protocol, man.
I'm saying this because in the strict realm of people who are watching this, right, just who happen to be here live, there'll probably be people who watch this later, but if you're in here live, or you watch this within a few weeks or even months of this video going live, it's worth diving into for a couple days, only because the amount of times I've missed out on trends just because at the time when people were getting in is not when people were talking about it. People you would hear it a couple times, but you don't even take it seriously enough to even think about giving it an opportunity. This is the moment where I'm going to talk to you who's watching the stream right now, that I'm just telling you, hey, you might as well just stick your feet into the .near. And by the way, I'm not helping myself because I want all the .nears. So I'm not helping myself by telling you this, but don't miss something, because by the time the trend comes and goes, it'll be like a distant memory in the past. You'll be like, bro, I remember they literally said that a year and a half ago. Dude, the amount of times that has happened to me, Bodogos is the first example. I was like, bro, I should pick up a few of these bodogos. And then, dude, if I had, I would be looking at like a 40x right now or something, like or some just absurd number. Like Gordon Goddard bought in, like the Board Yacht Club jumped in. Like, they've literally done like a 20x or something. It's absurd.
Yeah. That was funny how you slipped that one at the end of that video. I was watching one of your shorts and buy bodogos at the end. I was like, that's funny.
We gotta support them.
Yeah, that was good. I do have a way I'm actually tying like this back to content creation in a second. Like this is very related. What I was gonna say is, don't let this be. I mean, y'all can spend your time how you want to, but don't let, when you hear stuff like this, don't let it be like the next cool airdrop video you hear by one of your favorite creators that you save into your like I should do this later album, and then you never do it, and then 2 years later all your homies get the airdrop that you put on it, and you're like, I saved it. I was like, I'll do that sometime, and then you never did the thing. So
it's like bonk, dude. There's so many people, like random people who are like, bro, I forgot I bought like 1 million bonk like a year ago. And you're like, look, now this is worth $5,000. Like, it's just one of those things that, like, because it's so small, I don't feel bad. Even like, it might even sound like I'm shilling, but like, I don't even feel bad because like, it's just such low risk that if you're bothering to watch this stream right now, like, you might as well, like you're not doing anything anyway. You're just watching this thing. You might as well just go and like type it in on the website and just like mess around and see if you can find a .near that you think is cool or random things like that. I just think it's worth it when no one's talking about it and the masses haven't found it.
Big differences once again between .nears and .eths. Guys, it's cents on the dollar to register. With ENS domains, you could buy them, but they were expensive. Like even when they were not popping yet, just to rent or to like own the website for 1 to 10 years, that in of itself is expensive. You can start claiming domains and wallets for cents on the dollar, which is crazy. On content creation, I've outspokenly not been a massive fan of Solana before. Here's one of the things I really respect about Solana, besides their settlement layer itself. I respect the content creators on Solana. I do not think there's a stronger content creator community than there is on Solana, and I think that the content creators on Solana have saved Solana. I've trashed talked the tech before. What they do, I mean, the whole purpose of Solana is the settlement layer, and they're very good at the settlement layer. Without the content creators, it would not be the same. So how will Near perform when there's, a few decent writers on Near, good technical people, but there's not like 500 people with their own personal brands on Near that Solana currently has. Guys, Solana has flipped Ethereum DeFi. I don't know if you guys know that. Solana TVL has flipped Ethereum DeFi in the last week for the first time ever. That's insane. Okay, that doesn't happen without community vitality. The community vitality doesn't happen without personal brands, education, viral videos, and all these different things. Okay, so
if Solana have a strong marketing.
Yeah, they have strong marketing because the Solana Foundation isn't having to pay for all the marketing. They have strong marketing because there's 500 plus individuals that are building their own brands on Solana that are talking about Solana because they
hone in on a couple things that make Solana very convenient compared to ETH, and they just zoom in on that, and their audience loves it. And they're like, oh, like it is a good idea. Like maybe I should do some meme coin trading on Solana, or just buy like a $13 NFT and sell it for $22. And so I think with the Near, the people who are content creators on the Near and Neko and trying to get the attention of these guys, dude, there's opportunity there. Like people say, like, oh, look, they're not paying. They will pay if you offer something they want. I always maintain that. Even for me, there's some times where I'm like, bro, what you're asking, you don't even understand what you're asking from me, and you're not even willing to pay me a fraction of what that's actually worth. And for the most part, it's because they don't make content. They literally just don't know that that's what it's worth. But once you have a product or a service or something that you've got in your arsenal that they're like, crap, bro, Stanley's the only one who's got that. We just need to have him. Like, let's just throw him some extra or something. That will happen, and you'd be surprised. Like, especially in a bull run, bro. Bull run vibes are something else, dude. People just, you'd be so surprised at the random things that can happen, and just it's worth.
A strong question though. I'm interested to know. I don't know how much you explored the Twitter space about Near protocol, but we do have a lot of good content creator in Near. I mean, we have plenty of them. Pretty good content creators. Yes, no.
I don't think we have plenty of them. I think we have some good ones.
I'm not talking about what we are doing now, like podcasts and shows and stuff like that. I'm talking about content creators in terms of like thread writings. Come on.
We have
Threads
50 good
writing.
ones. No, I'm saying we have some good ones. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We have pretty
We
good
don't have
ones.
enough. We don't have enough.
You think we need to have more?
We have maybe 15 from our community, which is awesome. We have people
How
like
many?
Jared.
How many do podcast except us? I think
It's
it
not
was.
about podcast. It's not about podcast. It's everything. I'm not saying I'm
Okay.
not grateful for the people that we do have on here.
Mhm.
I'm saying this is nowhere. We do not have plenty. We have a good amount. We have nowhere close to what we need to get the near protocol the attention it deserves for this bull run. We have nowhere close to the amount.
And do you think, based on the ratio community, what we have is more than enough right now?
No, I don't think it's anywhere close to. I think it's way under par. I think I'm so happy for all like the Neko creators, the Jump DeFi creators, all those people. I think there's some great creators. Let me don't hear what I'm not saying here. I think
I'm
there's
hearing you.
great-
I'm hearing you, man. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
there's,
Yeah.
there's some great creators on here.
Hmm.
There is nowhere close to enough. We will not reach critical mass right now. We will not grab any attention or market share against the absolute like Spanish armada that is Solana. That sucker is a massive.
One thing that's
massive-
good. One thing that's good is for people who are listening who are looking to make content about specifically with Near. I can say this with confidence because it's true, and I've done it, and I've witnessed other people do it. You can look at people who are effective on ETH and
Yeah.
literally just copy their exact
Mhm.
thing and just stick Near in there instead.
Yep.
And like the same, like one example is someone broke down Alex Becker's last video on gaming coins and put it into a thread. And dude, that's like, it's just smart, bro. Like that video, of course, that tweet's gonna do well, like 100%. And you can do the same thing. You can find,
You got
find
that from the
any
Neo Tokyo
viral
community.
content. Yeah. You can find any kind
I know
of
that
content
guy.
that did even kind of well and just turn into something for yourself and figure out a way
Yeah.
to squeeze something out of it. It's like that bash content. Like I've been, like I was scrolling a little bit on the Near and I was just looking around, just kind of sponging up a little bit about the Near protocol and what's on the timeline and looking for companies that just came up that I can take the .near domains for. And I was like, okay, like cool. One thing I just did is I made a cool video on the Neko. Can I turn that video that I just posted that did pretty well? Can I turn that into a thread and just get that same audience? And then maybe an extra 2 people will see it that didn't see me before. And then maybe I get a DM from someone says, yo, like we have a thing over here. Like, would you help us here? Or would you want to make a video like that? Things just happen, bro. They snowball.
There will also be more work because Near is under-recognized, right? With
Right.
Solana, the Solana Foundation is not going to pay most people at all for anything because they have people making content for free because Solana is all that to them. Like it's so diluted. Like content creators on Solana would go for so cheap because there's so many people that want to do it. People that are going to do a great job on Near. There are some really good ones, Suits. I'm not gonna lie. There are some great
Mhm,
ones,
mhm.
but it's nowhere close to the same numbers of other ecosystems. So
Yeah,
there's
that's a
so
good
much
thing for
opportunity
people who are
for
listening.
the
Great thing.
Oh, yes. There's so much opportunity for the work-based content creators. Like, hey, I'm gonna go where like it's undervalued, where people will pay, like all that stuff. Like, hey, a few great content creators can just absolutely skyrocket Near.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah. Anyway, hey, it's coming up on the hour. Cade, we're gonna hold Cade to roughly an hour. Seuss, you have a final volley, a final barrage of hard questions for Cade.
Yeah, I mean, I have multiple one, but since we will stick in 1 hour, I wanna go to the obvious one, and I will start introducing this to Cade. I don't know if I know you explored a bit the learn to earn because I saw your name and I verified it and sent the reward for it. But we have something called interactive task where we try to empower the content creator within our ecosystem. So, for example, if the guys watching here, after we finish this one, we're gonna do TLDR threads, TLDR videos where people from our community will cut it up to 7, 8, whatever they can get from it, and make it as a short, the most informative one. We also have thread writing and stuff like this, and I've been working with them very closely to sharpen their skills, but there is still room to grow, one, I have always given advice, always have given advices on how to start as a content creator, but from someone outside or fairly new to the circle, let's say, I think that's the right term. And might give a bit of warning, guys. My English is not great, so sometimes the meaning is different than what I want. But since you are fairly new to the circle here, what advice you will give for anyone who's trying to make it as a content creator? The hard advice, like 3 bullet points You need to be like this, like that, and then you can succeed.
Yeah, I'll say one thing that I kind of came to terms with recently, honestly, through this Jordan Peterson writing prompt thing, was how subjectively I've been viewing my life and how inaccurate it's actually been for some things. Not everything. There have been some things where I have been lying to myself for like 3 years, and it's just not true. Like certain things about my personality, the things I do, excuses I don't make that I actually do, things like that, where I was like, damn, dude, like I really am not putting in that work over here. That really is why I've had the same problem for 4 years in this exact one department. And so I was like, so one thing I would say for this is, I would say this specifically for content creators, because you're going to deal with this, is if you can take one of those online objective, try and take one that's like has a good reputation, maybe even type in the Jordan Peterson one like I took, but take one of the like personality tests and then like get an objective take on who you are. And like I want you to be like brutally honest with yourself, because it will reveal things to you that you first off you'll get the response back and you'll be like, that's not true, like that's not actually true, because and then you'll realize that you're just making a bunch of because statements in your head to qualify why this objective test just placed you in this category that you don't like. And you're like, maybe I'm not as smart as I think. Like I don't know how most of this stuff goes on. I don't know how my car turns on. I don't know how the lights work in my apartment. I don't know how the toilet works. I don't actually know a lot of things about life. And maybe I don't know as much about me as I thought, because I'm having the same problem. So I would say take an objective test like that, figure out where you're lacking. Like I was lacking in certain areas in the department of self-discipline that I just wasn't coming to terms with. And they were the core reason I couldn't get some of these things done. So say first off there. And then as far as for content, things you're going to deal with, in 2023, it feels like anyone can just be a content creator real quick if you just put in 5 minutes of effort. And it just isn't the case. Like I remember I was like, what would I want to get paid for? And I was like, bro, it'd be sick if I could just get paid to say what I want on camera, period, and just get some sponsor to just stick their energy drink in my video, and I can get sponsored and I'm happy to live my life just like Joe Rogan. And I remember thinking that and like writing it down and then just looking at it, like looking at my writing on the paper and being like, that might be the most arrogant thing I've ever written in my entire life. I was like, I want to be paid to say random stuff as if the things coming out of my mouth are really that on point. Like, who am I? Like, I'm not Gary Vee. And I remember just being like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I have to offer such immense value in some capacity, enough times over time in front of the right people in a variety of different ways. By the way, you might not be good on front of the camera, and that might take you 2 years to come to terms with that you're better at writing threads. And Thread Guy was writing the threads for a while and then was like, bro, I'm better at spaces. And he just rolls spaces. And then after a while, he's like, bro, I'm good on video. And roll with the vlogs and interviews. And then he's back on spaces again. But you have to be willing to surf those waves. That was one of the first bits of advice I was given by Greg Norman on the pod. Is like, you have to be willing to surf the waves and face yourself. And this is more, I guess, of a real thing of acknowledging your arrogance. Because we are just internally arrogant a little bit, I think, in some ways where we just don't want to accept that we are. If something's not working, at the end of the day, it's because it just isn't. It's not it. If it didn't work, then it just truly isn't it. And every now and then, you might just be bad luck. You might really be shadow banned, but you probably just aren't very good at making that content. And it might just take you a year to get good at it. And it might take you 3 or 4 years. And if you're a content creator and you want this opportunity, it's right here. And if you're here watching this on the Neko show, you have an obscenely unique opportunity here, because there are such few eyes on Web3 that you're swimming around in a pond the size of a toilet compared to the non-Web3 world, right? Like you're looking at like an ocean of content creators. Do you know how hard it is to become a YouTuber in the vlog world in LA? It's damn near impossible. But to be a content creator at Web3, dude, all you have to do is be better than like 100 other people, 200 other people, 1,000 other people. First, if you're in any other industry but Web3, you're talking about millions of content creators. There's a new TikTok account being made every 1 second, I think, or something absurd like that. In Web3, dude, most people don't have the balls. So if you have the balls, roll with it. Turn on the camera on, write a little script, and just post the video, write the thread, do whatever you got to do. But you do need to, you got to claim that. And you got to say, bro, I have a right to be here just like anyone else. Joe Rogan blew up and I could do it too. It is possible. And I think a lot of times we idolize some of these content creators. We look at Threat Guy, we look at Farouk, and we go, bro, those guys they just got something I don't got. And you're like, that is literally just not true. They thought the exact same thing when they started. Everyone started at 0 followers. And I'm not here with 1 million followers, but I can tell you it is very possible. And you'd be surprised at what can give you an opportunity. My very first foray into Web3 came because of a YouTube video that I posted that got 130 views. I posted it for one specific kind of person, and that person ended up seeing it, and I got lucky and I got a job offer from that one YouTube video. And for the next 6 months, I worked with that company and built their branding and did content. It was like a dream scenario, and it was just because I was like, bro, screw it, I'm posting this video. Nothing special, it just happened, you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I know we are like 5 minutes, which is not gonna take 5 minutes, but I'm gonna end it with you with a very good laugh and show you guys that no matter how good you see people are now, everyone had to start from somewhere, and no one was good or great as you guys think. And same as me, you're gonna have a good laugh here, guys. But I'm gonna show you my first video ever, and I'm gonna show you one of my last videos, maybe, for example. But yeah, let's get a watch. But before I start this, I really need to say, man, Cade, your thumbnail is sick, man. I mean, look at this thumbnail, man. This is an art. I really love your thumbnails. So, guys, if you want to follow Cade and look at the amazing thumbnail, please show support on his YouTube, which you can find the QR code down here. You can scan it and go there. But look at this thumbnail, man. It's pretty sick.
It's sick. And by the way, I don't know what's going on with that. I saw that earlier and I was like, bro, why is the view stuck? That happens every now and then. It says like 40 views. I was like, bro, that looks so bad compared to all like the other numbers were like set in.
It sucks sometimes. Yeah, I agree. It sucks. Stuck.
Promise.
Okay, but let me show you this video, guys. This is one of the first video I ever made in Neko when I was hired as a content creator. And to be honest with you, I have no idea why Delir decided to tell me, man, do you want to be a content creator? I used to write good threads, but I never made videos. Okay, so let's just take a look. It's gonna be funny, man. Trust me. It's gonna be really funny. Oh god, I can't. But anyway, we'll do it for the education. Neko has officially started distributing the Neko community airdrop from 500 million Neko token to 75,486 NFT holders.
Like I'm watching an ad.
Neko has officially started distributing the Neko community airdrop from 500 million Neko token to 75,486 NFT holders. The peer collection received up to 10,600 Neko for each NFT they are holding, such as Classic Kangaroo collection and Pretty Feline collection from Neko as well.
You won't get a big laugh. He's not gonna mess with you about it. He promotes content creation.
That's not so bad, bro. That's much better than most content creators' first video. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, thank you, Renkara. That was my first video ever, and I did not post this one, by the way, guys. I sent it to Nono. It was so bad the way I'm talking. Everything, my camera was bad. Every setup was bad. I remember my wife is trying to encourage me to record it, and she couldn't just hold the tears in her eyes from laughing, man. You know, so if you guys see me now creating videos, and I will show you some of, for example, one of the videos I really like, and you can see how hard work, dedication, and just go and try new things is always gonna get you the results you want. So I never started perfect. Hello guys, I've got some exciting news for you about JumpDefi and NDC. Let's dive in. JumpDefi is teaming up with the Near Digital Collective NDC to support its mission of decentralization on the Near protocol, and they are doing something awesome with it. They are hosting an I Am Human verification challenge, and you can earn some reward from it, including Jump OG. Jump OG will give you... I'm not gonna play it for so long because I don't want to drag the time there, but anyway, you guys, you can see the videos. It's all on Neko. But this is what I'm talking about, guys. I have no fucking idea what I was doing at the start. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to cut. I didn't know how to do. I mean, I had this editing, cutting things, but into like basic level gaming thing, I never I did some editing, but never me in front of the camera, never me talking and pronouncing the word perfectly, making my voice loud enough, and having the right angle, camera angle, lighting, and all of this type of things. I never did it. So this is how how it changed, and how do you achieve this. And I know I've talked a lot about my journey as a content creator. Not to brag. I mean, I talk a lot about it, but just to show you, if you guys put your mind into something and willing to learn, put your ego down and listen to criticism, you will be way all the way up, and that goes to what you said a while ago, because we all some sort have some ego inside of us. But the most important is turning the criticism into something productive for you, something motivation for you to keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah,
Dude, million
well
percent.
said. Cade, it's been an absolute honor having you on here, man. Thank you for carving out time for us. Thanks for talking content creation. Thanks for bringing your expertise to the table. I know we both enjoyed getting to hang out with you and talk with you. Yeah, any final words for us before we let you roll?
Dude, first off, the honor's all mine. I appreciate you guys so much for letting me come on the show. I had a great time, though. Obviously, love you. So I'm glad to meet you too. Now we're friends. So
Yeah.
thank you for introducing me in your community. No, dude, I can't wait. Eventually, I'll get out there. I'll be able to visit you in person. Hopefully, see the baby and the wife, and meet all you guys and hang out. But yeah, I guess I was supposed to say. I have a great time talking about content. Maybe I was even gonna say, like, maybe I pop into the Discord every now and then. Maybe we do like every month or something. We can do like a little check-in, do like a little content. I don't even know,
Dude,
like a
that would be
content
awesome.
trick or whatever it would be. Like one thing that just popped to mind, like just now when I was watching that clip of you, Sus, was I was like, there's some like little tiny iPhone tricks that people, they probably know, but at the same time, like, I'm thinking maybe they don't. I'm like little things that, because people look at the first video and then this video now, they're like, man, like there's something different, like heavy different. And of course the background, and of course a little bit of the quality. But there's like little things like tapping on the screen on the iPhone and holding it down gives you automatic focus, and it keeps the focus there for the entire video. And then you can drag your finger down, and drags the exposure down a little bit, and it gets darker, and it can make the video look like 50% more cinematic. And there's like little things like that, which I think it might be fun. So maybe I'll hop in a little bit more often in Discord and do a little bit of video stuff.
You'll hear it here first. There's the alpha. Maybe you'll get some free content creator training from Cade in the future if you join the Neko Discord. Maybe. Okay, this is all hypothetical. This sounds really dope. So, Sus, what you got on the way up?
I mean, for people who trying to start content creator, an advice, no, give it to me, and I didn't want to listen to him. Start with an iPhone. It's the best for content creation when it's come to social media app. I spent a lot of money. I really hate iPhone, and I told him, man, I'm getting something good camera. So I went for Google Pixel, which is a very good camera. It have amazing camera, but the problem is social media app, iPhone is just number one, to be honest. And one prime example, what Cade said, we don't have that in Android. So Cade, thanks so much, man, for all the alpha guys. Please show love to Cade with all the social media he have. This is YouTube here, and you have also as well his X here, and you have his TikTok. Please show love. This guy also made an amazing video about Neko that you guys wanna do and you guys wanna look at it. Share it with your friend. Help us to bring the Neko to a wider audience as well. Show some love for Cade. That video was not sponsored by the way from us. We never give him any money to make it. And it's a very, very great video. So, kids, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, man.
On that, I did send him a bounty afterwards, just for complete transparency.
Okay.
It
was definitely not sponsored.
I did,
and I do have two. And I did batch that video, so I do have 2 more videos coming from that filming segment. But there was no this is totally real. I had no idea he was gonna send me money. I'm gonna accept it for sure, but that was never the intention behind it. I never expected anything from that. But that's just another example. Random things can happen like that. Like I was very, very, very happy to have that. But
you know what? I'm gonna create it as a learn to end task for the next one.
Good.
I think I will do that.
Engagement with Cade video.
Engagement with Cade, man, will deserve. Probably tomorrow, guys. We will do a learn to end with Cade video. Anyway,
everybody,
thank you, man.
Being here. Thanks for a great community. Thank you all for being super active in the chat and asking us great questions. And Cade, tings again, man. You're the best,
bro. 100%. Also, if anyone in here, I don't know if we're still live, but if anyone who's live in here, are we live or no?
Yeah, we still.
I was gonna say, if anyone who's in here live right now, I'd love to follow you guys back and connect on Twitter. Just screenshot that you're watching the show live, or post it and tag me or something like that, and I'll hit you guys with that follow back.
Wow, there you go. All right,
let's get it.
That's big. All right, Sus, let's hit that outro.
Yeah. We will hit the outro without without ending the stream, right? No. Okay.
Yeah. You got it. You got it.
Guys, we will be right back. Every time I search for it for 1 hour.
Oh man.